Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to free webinar training to all graduating class of 2020. The School of Education has prepared free virtual training, and this is regarding job application with the following topics: how to apply for a job, how to write and send good application letter via email, how to respond to interview questions, and how to manage your first month at work. All of them will be discussed by our resource speaker today, no other than Mr. John Paul T. Solon. He is a language and literature instructor at Emilio Aguinaldo College, Cavite, under School of Education. He is also an English teacher and the president of the English department at Bulihan National High School. He obtained his MA in School Administration and Supervision degree from Eulogio Amang Rodriguez Institute of Science and Technology. Everyone, let us welcome Mr. John Paul T. Solon.
Hello everyone! Kumusta po kayo? I hope that everyone is doing good at the comfort of your home. I am again Mr. John Paul T. Solon, and I am grateful for this opportunity given to me by my EAC School of Education family. I also would like to congratulate all our education students who just graduated this year. Finally, after how many years of sacrifices, efforts, pagsusunog ng kilay, wow, heto na. You have finally received the fruit of thy labor. And now that you are a graduate, you are now moving on to the next chapter of your professional career. Because it's time for you to look for a job. So, I am here to share to you some tips that I hope would help in applying for a job. So, are you ready? What do you think is the very first thing we need to prepare in applying for a job? Of course, we need to prepare a cover letter. Whether you're sending out resumes, hoping to land for first teaching job, or considering your credentials or teaching experience in a new setting, one fact remains the same. All the best credentials, experience, and passion will go unnoticed without a strong cover letter. Cover letter should highlight all your accomplishments and make your passion for teaching known. But what is a cover letter? A letter of application, also known as a cover letter, is a document sent with your resume to provide additional information about your skills and experience to an employer. The letter of application is intended to provide detailed information on why you are a qualified candidate for the job. There are some tips that I would like to share to you in making your cover letter. You have to remember the word eduktyme. Again, remember the word eduktyme, which stands for E, emphasize, D, describe, U, upkeep, C, customize, T, intake, I, include, M, mention, and E, emphasize. The first one is emphasize. Emphasize what? Emphasize your achievements. Include examples of your accomplishments in the past experiences, like for example, as student teacher. Okay? If you earned an academic award, or if you received a teaching award like Best Demo Teacher or Best Presenter, mention these successes. This will surely emphasize your achievements. The second one is describe. Describe your experience. It's helpful to include details on your experience. Quantifying them can help. For example, Mention how long is the span of your student teaching experience. Is it from third quarter to fourth quarter? Is it for how many months? And then you also have to include the grade level where you were assigned, and also include some other important details on your student teaching experience. Describe. Number 3, upkeep. Upkeep it strong and short. Realistically speaking, you've got about 30 seconds to capture a hiring personnel's attention. Yes, that's true. 30 seconds only. Can you imagine that? Therefore, on your cover letter, you have to use the space to craft a paragraph or two that will convince them that you are a standout candidate and you are worth moving on to the next step. Kaya niyo ba? So, keep it strong and short. Number 4, customize. Customize your cover letter. Be sure to tailor each cover letter to fit the specific school and job listing. One way to do this is to research. Siyempre, dapat pag-aralan mo rin kung saan ka ba talaga mag-a-apply. Try to research this particular school and mention why you think you'd be a good fit for that specific location. Again, customize your cover letter. The fifth tip that I could give in writing a cover letter is take your time. Because the moment you take your time, it creates quality. And quality is important. A cover letter filled with typos and some grammatical errors will not inspire the hiring committee to give you a call. Do you agree with me? Definitely. Spend time to proofread your letter carefully. You may also ask the help of your family members, your relatives, your friends to read the cover letter for you. This would be a great help. The sixth one is include. Include related work outside the classroom. If you have non-teaching work or volunteer experience that involves working with children, you can highlight this in your cover letter as well. You can also do this if you have a limited teaching experience. So since you are a fresh grad, you have no experience yet, try to involve yourselves into volunteering into different non-government organizations, and most especially when it is about working with children, it would be a great help. Okay, and you could also include that in your cover letter. Number 7 is mention. Mention any training or certifications. Many teaching jobs have specific training and certification requirements. Use your cover letter to demonstrate that you have what is required for the job. You know what? We are very thankful because EAC, specifically the School of Education, is providing us a lot and different types of trainings, seminars that we can use the moment we apply for a job. The moment we move to the teaching field. Okay? So talagang we're very thankful that we are here in EAC School of Education. Then, number 8 is emphasize. Emphasize what? Emphasize why you are a great match. Paano yun? Read their job description and find the overlap between the skills you bring to the table and the skills they need. If the description calls for certain qualities or uses specific language, repeat them in your cover letter. The ultimate goal for your cover letter is to express that you are the ideal person they need. And also, remember to be professional and use concrete examples. So again, how to write a cover letter for a teaching job? We have to remember the word end of time. There are also key elements of a cover letter, or should we say, these are the essential parts of cover letter. The first part is information about you. It contains your name, your current home address, and also your email address. And this is placed at the top part of your cover letter. Then you have to have the date, of course. And then the third one is the contact person's name, his title, and also the address. Because including a specific contact person's name can get your letter and resume to the hiring personnel more quickly, and it can be an effective personal touch. Kasi syempre, kilala mo na sila, di ba? And if you are applying for an advertised position that does not give a name to contact, anong gagawin mo? Of course, you have to call first the school. Tawagan mo and get to know the name of the principal there so that you may include that in your cover letter. The next part is salutation. In salutation, you have to choose appropriate way to address the contact person. For example, Dear Mr. Gregory. Kaya naman, Dear Miss Santos. Do not write or never to write to whom it may concern. Parang may go out lang, di ba? That's very informal. Okay? So, you have to address the contact person properly or appropriately. Then, the next one is the opening paragraph. For the opening paragraph, it tells how you learned about the position, and also you may write in the opening paragraph about where you get the information. You may cite there, like for example, you got it from a classified advertisement, or it came from unsolicited mailing, or from internet, or it may be coming from personal referrals. That will be the content of your opening paragraph. Then the next one is the middle paragraph. This paragraph gives a summary of your background and critical skills, or what we so called the hard skills that make you qualified for the position. The next key element of the cover letter is the second middle paragraph. This paragraph can be used to demonstrate your persuasive skills or the soft skills. And we have the closing. At the end of the letter, talk about your availability for the job, where you can be contacted, and where are you going to contact the hiring person for an appointment to discuss your application. If you have no contact name, you may simply want to indicate your anticipation for the response in this part of the letter. And then, do not forget to thank the person to whom you are writing for his or her time and consideration of your application. Siyempre, mahalaga yung appreciation, or by simply giving thanks, because this the person assigned in hiring gave time to read your letter, or could even consider your letter. Okay, so of course, after making your cover letter, the next step you make is what? It's the resume. But what is resume? It is a formal document that serves to show a person's career background and skills. In most cases, it is created in order to help a candidate to land a new job. The purpose of resume is to introduce yourself to the employees, present your qualifications, and secure an interview. The goal of writing a resume is to showcase your experience, your education, and skills, and in the standardized format, which is easy for recruiters to read. That is resume. But do you know how to write a good resume? Well, we have to follow this. First, start by choosing the right resume format. Ano-ano ba yon? When we say format, it is a style or order in which you display information on your resume. There are three commonly used resume formats. You can choose from or depending on which is right for your situation. Okay, the first one is chronological or reverse chronological. The second one is functional, and the third is combination. What is chronological? A chronological resume format places the professional history section first, and it is a good option if you have a rich professional work history with no gaps in employment. Then the second format is the functional resume format. It emphasizes the skills or the skills section, and it is a good option if you are switching industries or you have some gaps in your work history. Siyempre, functional resume ang gagamitin natin. Then the third one is combination resume format. What is this? It is a good option if you have some professional experience where both skills and work history are equally important. We will use combination. Okay? So, ano bang format? Then the next step is include your name and contact information. In your resume, of course, it's very important to use or to include your name and contact information. Your resume should begin with your name, contact information, including your email address, phone number. Your name should be highly visible at the top of your resume with bolded or larger font than the rest of the document. But it should be no more. It should be no more than 14 font size. Okay. The third one is add a resume summary or objective. Ano bang ilalagay natin? Resume summary or objective. After your contact information, you have the option to include either a resume summary or objective statement. An objective statement quickly explains your career goals, and it is a good choice for those with limited professional experience, such as recent college or high school graduates. A resume summary is a short statement that uses active language to describe your relevant work experience and skills. So, ano gagamitin natin? We will be using the objective statement. Okay, the fourth one is list your soft and hard skills. Kanina ko pa pinimension yung soft and hard skills. Ano nga ba yun? So, take a moment to consider which skills make you a great fit for the job. Review the job description and highlight keywords that you have had proven success in the past. Consider both hard, which is your technical skills, and soft, your interpersonal skills. And then list any required skills like certifications or licenses. Sooner, may dadagdag na kayo dyan yung mga lisensya ninyo. Tama po ba? Okay. List your professional history with keywords. That's the fifth one. Since this is your first time to land for a job, it is understood that you don't have yet the professional experience. So, what you're going to do is, or what you're going to include there, is your experience during the conduct of your student teaching. Number 6 is include an education section. An education section will be especially valuable if you have a limited work experience. You can include information such as your relevant coursework, your grade, yung mga matataas ang grade dyan, ilagay niyan. Participation in clubs or organizations, and then leadership, positions held, your awards, achievements, and certifications. Then, consider adding optional sections. If you have significant white space on your resume, ibig sabihin may natira pang space, consider adding an achievements or interest section. These can help supplement a shorter resume, especially for those with limited work and educational experience. But you have to make sure that the achievements and interests you list will support your career goals and are relevant to potential employers. If you think that this will not help, or it has nothing to do with the school you're targeting to apply, do not include that anymore. Okay? Include only the skills or important things about you that have something to do with your application. The next one is format your resume. While the layout of a resume is important, you should also take time to pay attention to formatting details like font style. Mahalaga yun. Font size, margin, spacing. Okay? These are all important. Formatting your resume can make it look clean, professional, and it will improve readability. This is the key when attempting to keep employers' attention. Okay? So you need to format your resume. And the last one would be proofread your resume. So para rin siyang cover letter. You need to proofread. Carefully review your resume for spelling, grammar, and punctuation errors. Reading your resume backward can help you identify errors by presenting the words in a new order. You should also ask trusted friends, your colleagues, even your professors and family members if they can review your resume. Third-party opinions can help reveal new information you might have overlooked. Okay? So mahalaga po yun, ha? Always remember that. Okay, so now that you have finally made your cover letter and resume, I think it's about time to send it via email. Today, including a cover letter as an attachment is the new norm. Sabi nga natin, new normal. Emailing your cover letter and resume will highlight your accomplishments and motivate the hiring personnel to read your resume and set up an interview. These are just some of the important steps you should take into consideration in sending your cover letter and resume via online. How to send an email cover letter and resume? First, you have to use a professional email address. Tama na yung mga pa-cute na mga Gmail natin. It's about time to use the professional email this time. When submitting a cover letter via email, your email address matters. Use a professional email address made up of your first and last name. Like for example, leo.gonzaga@gmail.com. If your full name is already taken, try using a combination of your name and initials. Okay? But avoid using nicknames or numbers. Again, use a professional email address. Next, add an informative subject line. In your email, there is a subject. Okay? So in your subject line, you have to be straightforward because informative subject line increases the chances that the recruiter or hiring personnel will open your email. Since employers may be hiring for several positions, it is important that they can immediately identify which role you're applying for before they open the email. Uh, Maybe in less than 60 characters, include your full name in the job title. Like for example, these are the possible structure. Your email subject line could be cover letter, resume, job title, and then your name. That will be your subject line. Okay? Then after that, send your cover letter and resume as an email attachment. Oh, kaya niyo yan, ha? But you have to save your file correctly. Okay? Siyempre, you have to save your file as doc or as PDF to preserve the original appearance of your cover letter. Additionally, change the file name to first name and then last name, then you write their cover letter if it is a cover letter, or first name, last name, and then resume if it is a resume. Okay? Why? Because it is easier for the hiring personnel to view your cover letter once they've downloaded it from the email. Include a brief email message. Write a simple message in the body of the email to let the hiring manager or personnel know that you've attached your cover letter. Never leave the email message blank since it can confuse whoever opens it. Your short email message might look like, for example, let me give you an example. Dear Miss Santos, please see my attached resume and cover letter for the teaching position. Let me know if you would like any more information. Thank you for your consideration. And then your name, Leia Reyes. Okay, so that will be the content of your email message. Okay, and then number 6 is send yourself a test email. Before you click send, make sure your attachments are working properly by sending yourself a test message. Download the attachment from your test email to ensure it is the correct file, and double check your spelling, grammar, and formatting before sending your final cover letter email to the hiring person. Send yourself a test email. After writing your cover letter and then writing your resume, and then after emailing them, expect for an interview. There are several types of interviews, like for example, face-to-face interview. You could also have phone interview. But they all serve the same purpose of letting the interviewers evaluate your skills, knowledge, experience, education, and personality to determine if you are the right person for the position. But now that we are in the phase of this difficult challenge because of the COVID-19, the possible way for them to conduct an interview is via online platforms like Zoom and Google Meet. Okay, they could also use video call. I have here some tips to help you virtually ace your upcoming teaching interview. So these are the tips now for nailing your teaching interview. First, this is through online platforms. First is the first impression. Okay, despite not meeting your potential employer in person, you still want to make the best impression or first impression prior to your interview. You should ensure that you have the correct software installed on your computer. You don't want to cause delays to your interview when you realize that you can't get Zoom to work on your device. Have the software set up around 10 minutes before your interview so that you are well prepared for the interview. The second one is practice makes perfect. Palasak na yan. Practice makes perfect. But this is really very helpful. Video interviews can be intimidating. So, practice talking to the camera before your interview. Ensure that the camera is adjusted to the correct height and there is no external noise that could be distracting during the interview process. Practice makes perfect. The third one is dress code. What? Dress code? Even at home? Yes. Dress code. Just like me. Diba? I'm wearing my long sleeve even though I'm just at home. Because for me to feel that I am still working. You should dress as though you're attending a normal interview. Aside from that, this will also help you feel mentally prepared and get you into the zone. Dress smartly from top to toe rather than just dressing appropriately from the waist up. Because it's important for your potential employee or employer to see that you are a well-groomed and presentable despite the circumstances. Okay? So, nakapuama dapat ha. Mahalaga po yun. Another tip in nailing your teaching interview is your surrounding. Ensure that your surroundings are appropriate for an interview. A busy or untidy background can be distracting for both you and the interviewer. So, you have to consider also your surroundings. Then, the fifth one is additional documents. It can be helpful to have your CV or personal statement to hand while you are being interviewed. Your interviewer will more than likely to have a copy themselves to refer to throughout the whole process. So, it is important to have it handy in case you need a refresher. Okay? Dapat katabi mo yung mga yan para naka-ready lang sila. Anytime you need backup. The next one is preparation is the key. Okay? Preparation is the key. Research the school or college before your interview. Like any regular interview, you may be asked how your experience makes you a good fit for the role you have applied for. It is obvious if you are reading information from your computer screen, so it's important to demonstrate that you have researched the role fully to signify that you are driven and keen to secure employment at your chosen school. It will also show that you are really interested to apply in that particular school. So you have to prepare. The next one is thirst comes first. Make sure that you have a glass of water handy during your interview. A combination of nerves and lots of talking can give an impact on the clarity of your voice during an interview. Just like a face-to-face interview, it won't be bad if you will require a drink. So that's okay. Number 8 is body language. Your body language should remain as it does in face-to-face interview. Ensure that you maintain eye contact with your interviewer, smile, nod, and give other signals that you remain engaged throughout the duration of the interview. it can be extremely off putting your interviewer if they get the impression that you have switched off or glazed over. So dapat focus. And you should also have you should also have to show your response to the one to your interviewer. Then the next one is keep calm. If your internet connection begins to lag, keep calm. Okay, that's very important. Uh, or you begin to suffer connection issues, it is important to keep calm. We've all been there. Internet providers are currently being pushed to their limits as everybody continues to make the switch from the office-based working to working from home. Lahat tayo work from home na. Okay? And so, this internet provider are working so hard to provide enough connection that we need. Okay? So just relax lang. Keep calm. Okay? It's very common for connection issues to occur during a video call. So remain composed and ask to reconnect the call if necessary. Okay? Next is gratitude is everything. The word is gratitude. And gratitude is everything. Once your interview has finished, be sure to send an email of thanks to your interviewer. The current circumstances are stressful for everybody, and we are all attempting to adapt our methods of communication in order to align with government guidelines. Your interviewer will appreciate, okay, he will surely appreciate a thankful follow up email from you, and it may leave your standing out from the crowd. Gratitude is everything. Okay? Let us say you're done with the interview and then you are accepted. You are finally hired. Congratulations. So, how will you start with your first month of task? Success during week one is about balance. Okay? You want to make a great first impressions, but you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself to get everything right. The goal is to learn about the new workplace and feel like you are part of the ecosystem. So, how do we start our first month of task? First is, of course, you have to introduce yourself relentlessly. Okay? Studies have shown that anxiety in new situations can come in part from not feeling confident in how to introduce ourselves or on how to introduce ourselves. It's natural feeling when you are new. You don't necessarily want to call attention or to call the attention of others. Okay? But on the first days or in the first days of your new job, you want your enthusiasm to shine through. So, find the timing that feels right and give a quick, energetic introduction to the people you don't know yet. And then try to remember their names. Even a simple hi and hello, it would be a big help for you to introduce yourself. Then, you have to ask a well-timed questions. Wag mahihiyang magtanong. Yes, it is understood that you are new in this field. You are not yet aware or you don't know yet the system or the flow of work. So do not be shy in asking questions. Ask a well-timed questions. Research has shown that new employees perform better when they ask more questions. By asking your leaders and peers for new information, you'll get up a speed quickly. But you know what? In your first week, you want to find the right time to ask questions. Kaya, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Okay? seek out a friend. During this first week, you may not find your best friend or develop a deep relationship with anyone, but seeking out someone you can relate to, even in short term, will provide some needed stability. Remember this, no teachers will make mistakes, but you have to learn from them and need to reconnect with your colleagues. The fourth one is you need to learn how to navigate and enjoy your new workplace. Locate the restrooms, the coffee and water and stairs and elevator, if there is elevator, where you can eat lunch and take a break and seek out any other amenities this workplace offers. If you haven't been given a tour, consider asking a colleague for one. Ah, And then, in this first week, you may also want to experiment with your commute, finding the right times to leave home and testing different transportation methods, identifying and establishing the routines early on will give you a peace of mind. Learn how to navigate and enjoy your workplace. Then, the fifth one is get organized and set a good habit. This job is a fresh start and a good opportunity to shed old routines. Take these first weeks to decide how you want to organize your calendar and to-do list, how you'll manage your time and skills or practices you want to develop. Okay, you have to get organized and set a good habit. Then, the next one is be humble and open-minded. This is also important. Since you are new in the teaching field, you have to be humble and open-minded. When you are humble, you are acknowledging that we cannot do it alone. Totoo naman po yun. Okay? You always need the help of other people. Kaya nga sabi natin, no man is an island. Di ba? Take the time to thank the people who are showing you the ropes. Don't take the credit for work you haven't done and by yourself alone. And listen more than you speak. You've never done this exact job in this exact setting. So, no matter how much experience you have behind you, keep an open mind. Sabi nga ni Harvey Mackay, talent is God-given, so be humble. Fame is man-given, be thankful. Conceit is self-given, be careful. With that, I guess that would be the end of my topic. Thank you so much, everyone, for this opportunity. So again, please stay at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. God bless everyone.
We would like to thank Mr. Solon for sharing with us his knowledge and insights. The School of Education presents a certificate of recognition to Mr. John Paul T. Solon for sharing his expertise as a resource speaker during the free webinar training on job application for graduating students. Signed by the Dean of School of Education, Dr. Ethel Reyes Chua, the Human Resource Director, Ms. Marisol Remolomac, and the President on Academic Affairs, Dr. Rebecca D. Miranda. Thank you very much, everyone, and God bless you.